Namaste and welcome. I'm Vajra and I'm going to share with you now part 2 of the 3-part basic vinyasa practice, the standing sequence. If you're interested in the warm-up, the seated sequence, part 1 is available in the practice library. It ends in Tadasana, mountain pose, where we will now begin. So if you're ready to jump right into a vinyasa flow, let's do it. As far as props, I do recommend a block. I have one here, or 2 if you have them. And if you don't, you can substitute maybe a book or something sturdy that will give you a little bit of height. If not, no worries, I'll give you cues to work around it. So let's begin recentering and regrounding ourselves into Tadasana and bringing our attention to our breath. We will take 5 deep inhales and exhales with a pause in between. Ujjayi pranayama if you know it. Finding your feet. Finding length in the spine. Dropping the tailbone, lifting up through the crown. Soft through the belly, open through the heart. Soft shoulders, soft face. Top of the head lifting and extending to the sky. Inhaling, pausing, exhaling, pausing. And we're going to begin with Surya Namaskar A, or Sun Salutation A, 1. And you'll come to the front of your mat. Feet can be all the way together or hips width apart, whatever feels more comfortable. You're going to have a soft knee but a strong leg, a long spine but an open front body. As you inhale, you'll reach your arms up. We're going to do 1 breath per movement. And as you exhale, you'll gently fold forward and down. Inhale, bring your hands to the shins, look forward halfway and lengthen. Exhale, fold in, bend the knees, plant the palms, and step back to plank pose, upper push-up position. We're going to start with a knees, chest, chin variation, so bring the knees down. Send the chest and chin between the hands, lowering onto the belly, rolling the shoulders back, pulling the elbows in, lifting the chest, opening the heart, sending the head back slightly. And then exhaling, taking the head down, coming to hands and knees. And then you'll be familiar with this from the part 1, inhaling all the way up and back to downward facing dog, sending length through the legs, straightening the knees, pressing through the hands. 3 breaths. Inhale, pause. Fill up on your inhale, expanding the body. Exhale, pause, ground down through the exhales, in this case through the hands and the feet. Inhale, pause, again expanding in any way possible and in every way possible. And exhaling, grounding, really feeling connected to the pose, connected to your breath. Inhale, pause. As you exhale, look between your hands. You can step or walk or jump your feet all the way to your hands as you like. Inhale, look forward halfway and lengthen. Exhale, fold in. I like to pull the ankles slightly just to tuck myself in a little bit, drop the head. And then inhale, look forward, reach forward all the way up. Exhaling, hands to the heart, Anjali Mudra. Inhale, pause, exhale, pause. This is a great place for setting or remembering an intention for your practice today. And we'll begin round 2, Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up. If you like, here you can swan dive, heart, chest forward and down, arms out to the side. Inhale, look halfway forward and lengthen, hands to the shins. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your palms, step back to plank pose and pause. Inhale here. You can do knees, chest, and chin as we did before. You can do upper push-up, nice and strong, lower push-up, bend the elbows. Squeeze the upper arms in, release the toes. Inhale, cobra pose. If you're into upward facing dog, that'll be the next round. Exhale, lower down, tuck the toes. You can do hands and knees to downward facing dog, or you can push up, lower push up to upper push up, and back downward facing dog. Downward facing dog is considered a resting pose. Just take that in, let that make you smile for a moment, but see if you can take a pause, take a rest, take a relax. Let the mind soften for a moment. Let the body soften for a moment, even though there's a component of strength. Inhale, pause. Exhale, bend the knees, look between the hands. Step jumper, walk your feet to your hands. Inhale, look halfway forward and lengthen. Exhale, fold all the way in, again tucking the chest towards the thighs. Inhale, any arm variation you like, come all the way up to standing. And exhale, hands to the heart. Tadasana with Anjali Mudra, pause. 3 breaths here. Again, finding an intentional space. Before we move on to Surya Namaskar B, Sun Salutation B, with variations, that begins in chair pose. So I want to do this. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look halfway forward. Bring the knees together, the feet together, the thighs together. And sink the hips down, almost in line with the knees. Pull the knees back, reach the arms forward and up, chair pose. If you need to do chair pose with your feet slightly apart, if that feels better for you, go ahead. We're going to sink down into this chair pose for 3 breaths. Inhaling, pausing, exhaling, pausing, and refining the pose. Pull the knees back, sink the tailbone down, lengthen the spine. Look up towards the hands, take a breath in, and then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look halfway forward and lengthen. Hands to shins or fingertips to floor. Exhale, step back to plank and lower down to chaturanga, or jump back into chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, or upward facing dog if that's in your practice, opening the front of the chest, the collarbones, the shoulders. Exhaling up and back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale here. We're going to go right into the remainder of the sequence. Inhale the right leg up. Bend the knee. Open the hip. Now here in this pose, it's going to be really easy to lift the right shoulder, but I want you to really press through that right hand, square the shoulders, and make it about the opening in the front of the right hip as you inhale. And then exhale, you can use a little momentum to bring that right foot all the way up in between the hands. Warrior 1, drop the back heel down, square the hips, reach the arms up. Inhale, exhale here. Get sturdy in the pose as you inhale. Fire up some energy, expand the body. And as you exhale, bring the hands down. Lift the back heel here. Keep the left hand down. And remember I said if you have a block or a firm pillow, here's a good place to have it. Left hand down, right knee bent, right arm up, little twist. Try not to let the left hip drop down to the floor. Keep the hips even. Make the twist from the outside of the left hip all the way up to the right shoulder. Left shoulder pulls back. Left chest lifts up. The head leans back. The right arm may go all the way up and over the ear. Breathe in, breathe out. Stay steady in the breath. Inhale, pause. Exhale, pause. One more breath in. And right hand down. Step back to plank. Lower down and lift up. Cobra, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a moment here, one breath. If you ever want to skip the vinyasas, you're always welcome to meet me in down dog or take a brief moment in child's pose. Here you're going to inhale the left leg up, bend the knee, open the hip. Again, square the shoulders, make it about the opening in the front of the left hip, straight right leg, or as straight as you can get it. Exhale the left foot up in between the hands. Back heel down, warrior one. Square the hips to the front, lift the belly, soften the shoulders. Vinyasa means to move with the breath. One more breath in. As you exhale, you're going to move with your breath, the hands down to the floor. Find your block, or you can use your fingertips. Place the right hand down, lift the right heel up, reach the left arm up, lift the right hip and extend all the way up through the left arm. Fingertips can reach forward towards the space in front of you. Right shoulder leans back, right heart chest lifts up, the head leans back. Take a big inhale in and exhale, left hand down, right hand down, step back to plank, lower down towards the floor. Let's pause here for a moment on the floor. Interlace the hands behind you, lift and open the chest. Bring the legs together, lift the legs. Pause here for 3 moments. See if you can keep the face nice and soft. Come back to the center, tuck the toes. Let's take a moment in child's pose, but a brief moment. So push back towards your heels. Take a deep breath and then push up and back, downward facing dog. Look towards the hands, walk, step, or jump your feet towards your hands. Inhale, look halfway forward and lengthen. And exhale, fold all the way in. We're going to go to round 2. Inhale, chair pose. 1 breath per movement. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look halfway forward and lengthen. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the palms, step back to plank or jump to chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right leg up, bend the knee, open the hip. Look up under that right armpit. And exhale the foot up in between the hands. You're going to drop the back heel down. I'm going to show you from the back. And windmill the arms up into warrior 2. Sink through the front knee. The back edge of the foot should be parallel to the back of the mat or just a little bit turned in. Shoulders even. Fingertips extending. Thigh really working. Breathe in, breathe out here. And as you exhale, you're going to straighten your front leg, shift the right hip back, reach the right fingertips forward, 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 and down, triangle pose. Another place where you can use a block. You can lean your right hand onto the block either inside or outside the foot. If you don't have a block, you can bring your hand to your shin. Try not to put too much weight there. Do make the right leg very sturdy, especially that right kneecap. Have a look and see if it's lifted, engaged. I always love a side stretch. Left arm lifts up and over the ear for a moment. Big breath in, feeling length out of the left hip, left shoulder. Lean the head back. Exhale, look down, left hand down, right hand down. Step back to plank. Vinyasa if you want it, downward facing dog, or child's pose if you want to skip. Exhaling all the way up and back. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Lift the left leg up, bend the knee, open the hip. And then exhale the foot all the way up in between the hands. Back heel down, warrior two. Now you get a front view. Back foot, the outer edge is parallel to the back of the mat or slightly just turned in. Front knee bends deeply on top of the left ankle. Really try to widen the pelvic floor open, the thighs apart, the inner hips apart, and then match that with the shoulders. Look towards the front hand. Steady breath, inhale, pause, exhale, pause, as much as you can remember. With practice, the movements just become second nature, and then the breath becomes the heart of the practice. Shift the left hip back, reach the left fingertips forward and down. The left hand can go to the shin, or you can use a block inside or outside of the leg. Reaching the right arm up, pressing through the right foot and reaching the right arm up over the ear, leaning the head back, taking a few moments here, smiling if you've got it in you, and then exhaling, right hand down, left hand down, step back, upper push-up, lower push-up, cobra or upward facing dog, and exhaling, downward facing dog. That was round 2 of Surya Namaskar B. We're going to do one more round. Inhale, push back into down dog. Exhale, bend your knees, look between your hands, step or jump your feet. Inhale, look halfway forward and lengthen. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, chair pose. Now in this version of chair pose, you're going to bring your hands to your heart and take your right elbow outside your left knee for a little chair twist. Inhale, pause, exhale, pause. Inhale, chair pose, both arms up, stay low. Exhale, hands to the heart. Twist left elbow outside the right knee. Inhale, pause. Exhale, pause, and then inhale all the way up to chair pose one more time, and then exhale, forward fold. You're going to inhale, look halfway forward and lengthen, and exhale, fold in, step or jump back to plank, chaturanga, lower down, lift up or just skip, and back downward facing dog. Reach the right leg up, last round, bend the knee, open the hip. Exhale, reach the right leg all the way up in front. Bring the back foot in a little bit and straighten both legs. This is a great place to have 1 or 2 blocks, especially if you have a little bit of space between your hands and the floor. You can lean on a block, little arm extenders, lifting the front kneecap, stretching through the back leg. Inhale, pause. Exhale, pause, dropping the forehead to knee, Parsvatanasana. And then inhaling, looking forward. Left hand down, right arm up. Revolve triangle. So stabilize the feet, stabilize the hips, and lift the right arm up. You can have the left hand either inside your front foot or outside your front foot. I'm going outside, so I have a little bit of space. But the most important part is the stabilization of the feet. Top of the head moves forward. Take a big breath in and then exhale, both hands down. I'm going to do a little bit of a different transition here. Bend the front knee. Look forward, lift the back leg up. Standing split, and then exhale, both feet together. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step the right foot back. Parsvatanasana, look forward, lengthen the spine. Again, you can bring the block here. Both legs straight. The back foot is facing the front right corner of the mat. And with both legs straight and strong, you're going to fold your head towards your knee.
Inhale, pause. Exhale, pause. Inhale, pause. Exhale, pause. Look forward. Bring the right hand down and the left arm up for a revolved triangle. Try to keep the hips square. Open the chest. Move the top of the head forward. Take a big breath in. Look up. And then exhale, both hands down. Bend your front knee, lift your back leg up, standing split, inhale, and then exhale, both feet together in the front of the mat. Inhale, look halfway forward and lengthen. As you exhale, you're going to fold in. Now pause here in this forward fold, interlace opposite elbows. You can move the torso side to side, shake the head yes and no. Make sure there's no tension that has built up here. You can take the opposite wrist or the elbows firm into the feet. I have mine hips width apart. It's going to make it easier. Soften the knees. Reach the arms higher than the ears and use the arms to lift you all the way up to standing. Big, long, deep breath in, maybe even a lean back as you release the arms out to the sides. And now you're going to dive all the way forward again. Widening the feet here, we're going to come down into squat pose, malasana. If squat is hard for you, two options. One is you can sit the sit bones on a block and kind of get a little bit higher, and that'll help you to be able to open more across the chest and across the inner hips and the knees. Or you can roll your mat up kind of behind you underneath your heels, and maybe that'll give you a little bit more lift for your heels so that the pose is more accessible. So find malasana, squat pose, shoulders down. Hands in front of the heart, soft breath. Now I have my eyes closed. I'm smiling. Good. Inhaling, exhaling. Pauses in between. And then one more breath in. Bring your hands down, lift your hips up. Bring your feet hips width apart and parallel. Bend your knees a lot. Grab your big toes with your first two fingers and your thumb. Shoulders back, extend the spine nice and long. Then the elbows, drop the chest towards the thigh. Lengthen the cervical spine. Inhale deeply. Exhale deeply. See if you can find a little bit of a decompression here in the spine. Now you're going to inhale, look halfway forward again. Release the hands from the feet. Widen the feet again. We're going to do another squat pose. So again, if you need a block or if you need to roll up your mat, go for it. This time in squat pose, you're going to reach your right arm out to the right and reach the left arm up, up, up. If you have the capacity for wrapping behind you, you can do that. And exhale, we'll switch sides very gracefully. Opposite arm. Big, wide, beautiful, open stretch. If you can wrap, go for it. And then back to the center. Smile. Hands down, lift the hips up. Bring the feet hips width apart and parallel. Inhale, look halfway forward. Exhale, bend the knees. Take the hands underneath the feet, toes to wrist, Padahastasana. Lengthen the spine, lengthen the legs and the weight to the toes, and then just hang out here for 3, 2, And 1. Release the hands from the feet, widen the feet one last time. If you're interested in something like Bakasana or crow pose, you can place your hands down. I actually often like to do just the preparation rather than going all the way up, bringing the knees on top of the upper arms, leaning forward slightly. If you have the strength, bringing weight onto the hands, lifting your feet up off the floor just for practice. And then exhale, coming all the way back down. You can practice that more if you like, but from here, you're going to sit on your bum. Maybe grab behind the backs of the thighs. See if you can keep your spine nice and long as you lift your ankles in line with the knees. You may be able to stretch your legs nice and straight. You may be able to keep your knees bent but release your hands, or you may be able to do both things. Navasana, boat pose, for 3, 2. Now you're going to lower down slowly for 3, 2 into what's called Ardha Navasana, half boat pose, and then hold it here. This is the hard one. This requires a lot of core engagement, but we're going to lay down on our back after this. And 1, go ahead and release it all the way down. This is where part 2 ends and part 3 begins, the laying down or supine posture. So if you're finished for today, you can maybe do a twist or take a nice relaxing shavasana with however much time you have left. We send you many blessings for your day, and we'll pick up here in part 3, which you can find in the practice library. Namaste and many blessings.